YouTube, what's good? Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love each and every one of you guys. What you're about to watch is a interview from a couple of months ago. Me and my guy Dom. This is a really great interview. Talk about a lot of things. Thank you again for tuning in and enjoy the video.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Kyle, what's up, brother? Great to have you on today, man.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I came across your page a couple months ago. I've been following you. Just really love the shit you're putting out. So you're really hyped to have you on here, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
What you been up to? What have you been up to? I know you post shit ton of content every day, always motivational shit. Absolutely. What's been going on with you?
Nothing. I'm just young 22-year-old. Name's Kyle Maxwell. I go by Kendrick. It's like my stage name or whatever. As a young entrepreneur, 22 years old, residing in Maryland. CEO of Heart of Music Entertainment. That's the small indie label I have in my state, working with some artists. Been in the music game for quite a bit since like late 2016, like 2015. I've always just liked working with people and helping other people reach their goals. And so I have that. CEO of VivoMedia. That's a group, a company that started last year. It's really not doing much, but I'm kind of in the process. I really don't like, I like all these interviews and shit, but I really want to be transparent. Like I'm fucking not shit, and I'm in the process. And I think it's really important that I let people know that, I'm in the process of it. I'm not claiming that I'm successful. I wish I could get on here and say, yeah, I'm a successful businessman. I wish I could say that, but that's not the case. I'm in the process of it. I'm not shit. I don't make all the money in the world. I'm fucking normal. So I'm really just an entrepreneur in the process. But it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But I'm definitely in the process of it.
Exactly, man. You don't have to have it all figured out yet. Like, yeah. I'm the same way. People give me compliments and like tell me like how great I'm doing. I'm like, I literally haven't done shit. I made an Instagram page and started posting shit, which I'm not even posting enough. Like every day I'm like, you know what? I'm like, what do I got to do today? I got to do something to get myself better. It's
crazy. Like I've done the bare minimum. Like to me, I feel like I haven't done shit, but just like you, like I get it so much. And it's really humbling. I really appreciate it. I mean, I love it. Like people telling me, I do this, I've done this for them, but it's like, in myself, it's just like, I haven't even started this shit. So, it's really interesting because a lot of people, they would I feel as if a lot of people that, are probably in my position and they have some type of influence, they let it get to their head and they just start, I'm really passionate about it. They let it get to their head and they start just acting like a fucking dick. And I detest it with a passion. So that's why, I'm really trying to drill home. I'm in the process. I'm a complete opposite of what I look like. People don't really know. Like I call myself an exec because I'm an exec and I work with artists and I make executive decisions on projects and stuff like that. So I call myself an exec. So, but the people that look like me, I'm sorry, your name is Dom?
Dom.
That's like your actual name?
My name's Dominic. Yeah, I go by Dom.
Oh yeah, Dominic. Like the thing
shows you right there. Like we literally just were like, yo, like let's run a podcast. Let's just get on here and start talking, man.
But like the thing is, the 99% of people that look like me are full of shit. And I'm not trying to talk anyone's names. I'm not trying to like make it seem like, oh, I'm better. But it has to be known, it has to be said that 99% of people that are in my position that have the sort of enthusiasm I have, that have the skills I have, the talking and the charisma of me, 99% of people use that and they go to complete opposite and turn to some showman and they just turn into a fucking bullshitter. And it's super important that I let people know this. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to fucking Jay Leno. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna get on the screen and we'll let people know that anyone with a position, if you let it get to your head now, like imagine when you're talking to fucking Larry King, like you're gonna be like it's really something like, I'm going on a tangent here, But I'm just really big on, if you haven't noticed this by now, I'm really big on integrity and just being fucking humble and just being humble. That's all I care about.
Well, I mean, you just said it right. You said it earlier. You were like, I wake up every morning and you tell yourself, I'm not shit. Like,
yep.
Other people, like, yo, Kyle, what the fuck? Like, I wake up and I got to tell myself every day, like, I'm the fucking man. Like, I'm the shit. And that's what gets them out of bed every day. Like, people like you and even like me, you know, I'm always like, I haven't done shit yet. I still have so much more to prove. And it's not a race either. And it's not a race, and it's not, you know, I got to show everybody I do believe in showing people what you do and being authentic, but you got to do that. But you also got to put in the work behind the scenes.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad you made that point. Like, damn, I don't know where to get the words. A lot of people, they're very one-dimensional, and they're either all talk or and so here's the pros and cons to both ones. So when you're all talk, you have the insane ability to make people believe anything you say. That's the one pro to being all talk. You can get people's eyeballs. That's fucking important. Because if you can't get people's attention, if you can't let people know what the hell you're doing, then there really isn't you can only get so far. So that's the one thing. And when you're all talk. But the thing is, you lack the work ethic.
Right.
When you do amass that attention, when you do get those eyeballs, when people are enticed to, okay, what do you have? You underperform and you just fucking fall. It happens every single time. Just look what happens. Our latest rapper that gets famous, they popped out once because they had the ability to get the attention. You know, where's little TJ? Remember the little Asian girl, TJ? She's the hottest fuck. So like, where the fuck is she at right now? Gone. Like, where's Lil Pump right now? Gone. Where's I can go on with artists that just got on and then they fall off. Entrepreneurs, artists, actors. When you're just fucking all buzz, you don't have the work ethic. Now here's the flip side. When you're all about your hustle, people that work, people that are about their hustle, they don't say shit, they don't do anything, they don't have any type of social skills. When they're about their hustle, it's very hard for them to get on platforms like here and actually tell you the real thing. Mm-hmm. So that's like the paradox of all this. They don't have enough opportunities to get on here and tell the real story and tell what's actually needed. It's sad that people that are absolutely full of nothing, but just have the charisma, they get on here and then they give the false narrative that, oh, I'm fucking P. Diddy and and they give the false narrative. And so then people take that and they have the complete opposite. They're completely disarrayed to what it actually is. It's not about flexing pictures of cars on Instagram. It's not about, it's not about showing money. It's not about fucking flexing the Gucci belts and fucking girls and going to the club and fucking strippers. It's not about that. It's about the fucking work. It's about the grind of it. And when you have both, like me, that's a gift. So I can do both. So I'm on here and I'm telling you that I'm not, telling you, obviously you know what it's about, but so many people just get distracted by this bullshit of entrepreneurs putting out stuff, and they're just completely just fucking it up. So that's why I get on things like this and I talk and I put out content. I'm not anything, but if I can be something, I prefer to be nothing. That made any sense.
No, man, I get it. Because then if you're nothing, there's only way to go. There's only one way to go, and that shit's up. If you always think of yourself up here, it's really easy to drop off. And then it's just it's a roller coaster. And, eventually when that happens, usually you just keep going downhill. So I get what you're saying, man. Totally.
And why make the vulnerability of that anyway?
Right.
Like, why would you don't position, like, I hate when people, like, I think, faking it till you make it. Like, why do that? Why put yourself in that type of, here's the problem with faking it till you make it. That's a never ending strategy. it's a never ending thing. You have to fake it. There's no, you know, taking a break and then actually learn, oh shit, I have all these eyeballs. Let me make sure I really know what I'm doing. There is none of that. You have to keep on faking it. You have to keep on being bullshit. You have to keep on with the lie. You have
It
to
never ends. Right. It never ends.
Terrible strategy.
It's a cycle.
It's recycle. It's a terrible strategy. I see it happen every single day. And that is the number one downfall of people that fake it till you make it, because you don't really fake it till you make it. You're just fake. There is no making it.
Well, then what happens? My whole thing with that theory is too, like, what is your definition of quote unquote making it? Like, when do you know you make it? And then if you do, you know, whatever, you get a shit ton of Instagram followers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's what a lot of people is, or you start making a ton of money. You know, you have to keep, that's your identity now. That fake person that you've developed, that's your identity. You're no longer you. You can't be authentic. You have to be this fake, made up character that you are portraying to people on the internet.
See, that's the thing. I think you know, making it. That's interesting you said that, because I don't think I've never really, you know, articulated that. Like, what is making it? Like, what is? I think that's kind of like talking about what is success, or what is happiness, what is that? And I think it's not something that you go toward. I think it's more of a pursuit. And that's why, like, I'm not a movie person. I've only seen about like 10 movies in my whole life. Like, believe it or not, that sounds crazy.
Damn.
But the one, it's crazy. the one, my favorite fucking movie is The Pursuit of Happiness. And that's why I love that, because the fucking movies of it, Will Smith, and fucking, it's crazy, but the fucking title, it's like, it's a pursuit. You never, people that are actually on the right track, people that are doing it right, you never make it. It never happens. Just like if I'm like a crazy fitness person, a fitness person never stops that. It's not like, oh, I just got abs. Okay, now I'm just gonna sit back and eat, you know, Five Guys and just get like it. You never stop, because it's a pursuit. So the whole fake it till you make it thing, it's a complete paradox to even say. It's not paradox. It's an oxymoron to even say that, because you never make it when you're actually doing it right. It's fake.
Right. And I think that America has this kind of, this thing of like what success is. It's kind of being pushed in one direction.
Yeah. They're being fed bullshit.
You're being fed bullshit. And it's like, you know, you have to be at the top of your class in high school. You have to go to, you know, a quote unquote good school. You got to go to law school. You got to just eat well, like, now here's where it gets tricky, because I understand everybody, you got to eat shit if you want to make it. And that's, and that's anywhere. But why eat shit for somebody else for all those years for something you don't even want to do? You're in the search of money. Why not eat shit, or you can eat shit doing a side hustle, or like you're doing, you're getting your foot in the door in the music industry, and you're working your ass off. I saw something you put out where you stayed up 14, what was that? You stayed up like 2 weeks in a row or something without sleep. Some crazy shit like that. Like, people just aren't willing to do that for their own passions. And it's unreal, because they're working 14, 16-hour days for somebody else. And I don't get it, man. Like, why don't people have the same work ethic to do better for themselves?
Are we talking about, you know, working versus being an entrepreneur? Is that what we're talking about?
I think it's along those lines, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs start by working for someone, working for a company. Yeah. And that's great. Like, cause you can learn from business, but then you go there and it's like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't have a lot of, cause this is like the same boat. Like I want to work for myself. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm 21 years old. I haven't graduated college yet. I haven't had all these life experiences. I haven't worked out in the field, but it's like, once you get your foot in the door in like these companies, it's up to you to like take things away from marketing and HR and the different managers, and take what they know. And, you know, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, you take that and you apply it. But, you know, it's a really interesting.
I get what you're saying. So you're saying, you know, when you're trying to make that transition,
right?
You know, whatever situation you're in. And I actually said this. I'm glad you pointed this out. I actually said this. This is, in my opinion, what I feel as if is, you know, real entrepreneurial DNA. It's not, you know, a lot of people a lot of people, they try to put down working a 9 to 5 and being an entrepreneur. Some people say, oh, you can't, both can't.
Yeah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, that's not what makes you fake.
No.
What makes you fake is that you don't take advantage of every situation that you're in. So
Right.
how you said, taking the value from the HR, taking the value from the managers and all that, and taking those leadership, taking all those skill sets, and then when you're financially ready, or whenever you just have the balls to do it, you fucking say fuck that job, and then you go start your own thing. It's about taking the value that you learned from where you're at and applying that to your own business. I think that is what real entrepreneurial DNA is, because that's what you're gonna have to do anyway. You're never gonna you don't. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, most entrepreneurs that started businesses, for instance, like, let's just use the fucking old-fashioned Gary. Let's use Gary, for example. He didn't know shit about, client services. He didn't know anything about agency. He didn't know fucking the Ogilvy's, the fucking W. He didn't know none of that shit. Everyone has their own definitions, but I think, the real entrepreneurial DNA, when you get to the core of it, it's just diving head first in making it's like jumping out of a plane and making the plane the same exact time. That's how we learn. We just go head first, dive into it, and that whole studying something and learning it and prepping it and, writing down notes and stuff, that's very scholastic. That's very academic things. And that's not, to me, that's not typically, entrepreneurial DNA. So I don't necessarily believe that you have to, do a assessment on something before you get started. And I think learning it and doing it is just as beneficial as if you were, to read, 10,000 books on sports marketing and then start your business. Like, you're gonna learn more getting your feet wet rather than I can read about, abs all day long. I don't have them right now until I do the work that's required to get the abs. Doing is always better than fucking thinking and learning and, whatever. I'm a doer, so.
I think that's funny because Gary Vee, one of the things that stuck with me that he said, among pretty much everything he's ever said, but one of the main things he said with me was people overestimate what they can do from 9 to 5, and they underestimate what they can do from 7 to 11 or something in that range. Because, a 9 to 5, that shit takes a lot out of you. You got to get up early. You got to drive to work. You got to drive back home, take care of the kids, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah,
People, they do. And I underestimate that in myself sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I look back the last day and I'm like, dude, like, all right, I had 2 hours right there instead of just sitting around and scrolling on Twitter, Instagram, man. Like, you can start consuming content that'll actually help you or put that into action. It all starts with putting it into action.
So I understand that, and it's because there's very two different distinctions between having a job, having a regular check, a regular schedule, versus doing all that for yourself. And I think what he was referring to is when you have a regular job, when you have something that safety net, you overestimate what you can do within that time, because that hours equal dollars.
Right.
You already know what you're getting yourself in towards. So opposed to that, because then you start contextualizing. Okay, well, I worked this many hours at my job, but in these hours working by myself, I didn't make anything. Not understanding that is what entrepreneurship is. You're not paid for your hours. You're not paid for your work putting in. You're paid for the work that you put in. It's the complete opposite world of working for someone else, and that's kind of.
You just might not see it right away, though. You just might not see that pay right away. You got to think long term.
There isn't that, because we're used to the instant gratification of having a check and having this and having that, having a manager and having someone to blame and having someone this and having someone that. But when you totally make that switch, you're like the last line of defense, and it's all on you. So if you don't do anything, you don't get anything. A job, you can go fucking jerk off in the bathroom and you're still getting paid. Unfortunately, in business, unless you have, workers and you're delegating things and you have, I hate using this term, the passive income, unless you're doing that, then you're not making shit.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, man. And I'm like, these are all things you and me are young. So we talk about this, we relate on that. So first of all, I want to ask you, you're 22 years old and you're involved in all this, you're in all these music you're in the music industry and you're doing all this awesome shit, but like you said, like you've got a long way to go. I've got a long way to go to do what I want to do. Like, how are you like, who's your support system? How are you learning, and how are you, are you just doing everything on your own? Like, I just want to know, like, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to listen to this in our age group and be like,
yeah,
like, where do I go? How do I start? What do I do?
Well, two questions. Are you asking who's my support system now or when it all started?
Like, for me, sometimes I feel like I can do everything on my own, and then I think I reach out to other people, and this is the whole reason that I do this podcast, is I'm able to connect with people like you, and I'm able to learn from people. And so, like, is it kind of similar for you? I know you do you do your Instagram live show every night. Like, is that like your way of like kind of connecting and learning with others?
Yeah, it is. But well, the first question, were you asking what is my support system now or when it first started?
Both. Take me through that.
Cool. So when it first started, it was just fucking me. It was just fucking me. And this is a long ass story, so I'll kind of just wrap it up. Basically, let me be totally open with you. I was a completely different person, prior to 2017, late 2016. I was a piece of shit. I was a con artist. I used to do bad things. I used to hang out with terrible people. I was a bad person, just being completely honest. I used to steal. I fucking, one time we were going to Atlanta for something, and so this whole entire week we were trying to get money because we were going to Atlanta. So I can't remember. We were one of my friends that I don't hang out with anymore because I changed my circle. I posted about that this morning. We were going to Atlanta, and I was trying to get money this week because I wanted to have some money, to go fucking, jerk off in Atlanta. So, I did whatever I could that week, and then, the weekend came and we started to go, and I was like, fuck, I don't have enough. I had some. I had like $75. I had something, but I was like, and I didn't know how long we were gonna be staying. And I was like, fuck, like I need to do something. So, I got on eBay and I scammed somebody for money. Yeah, made $300 from just scamming somebody. Wow. Yeah, so I was a terrible, and I did that very quick. And I used all of these tactics that you see now, and I used all of this greatness. And I used it for bad. Mm-hmm. I used it for bad. And once I made that switch and everything started changing, obviously, I became a better human being. But anyway, that's way back then. And I would just be lying if I didn't tell you that, because I haven't not always been this way. And I tell literally every single person. Every single person knows that story. I'm not on here trying to act like I'm a fucking saint, because I'm not. So when the label first started, I was getting out of school and everything was bad. And fuck, there was some guy in my old college that he had some label. And he was the big man on campus or whatever. He was doing his label thing, and I always kind of wanted to do that. And just to wrap up the story, I hate to talk like this because we're just
Hey man, no, whatever. I appreciate it. I appreciate you talking.
Because I think probably like I can probably stay till like 9, 10. So I'm kind of like,
hey man, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I have to wrap the story up.
No worries.
So basically, my life was shit, and I had this life-changing moment. Me and my friend that I don't hang out with anymore, and he has a kid now. And fucking life is all down the shithole. We were hanging out,
man, all the time. Yeah.
Basically, we were hanging out somewhere, and we seen some fucking old dude smoking a cigarette. It was like 1:00 in the morning, and we just both kind of clicked, like, oh damn, like the way we're living, we're gonna be that in a couple years. So that was the whole turning point. So I don't know why it was that day. It's crazy. It was that day when I seen that, because I kind of seen myself in the future. Like, it was some dude smoking a cigarette outside of 7-Eleven at 1:00 in the morning, and I was like, if I keep doing this, if I keep hanging around these people, I'm most likely going to turn out like that. And that's not what I want to be. So it was that day. So I cut off everyone. And that person that was in school, I was like, that dude had a label thing. Let me try to do that. And so that's when I stayed up for the 2 weeks. And I fucking just went ham on it. I just went like, okay, I'm going to, whatever that thing that guy was doing, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it better. So I stayed up for 2 weeks. Learned the fucking whole entire music business. I put together this fucking, I was 19 years old at the time. I put together this fucking plan. I didn't know shit. Like, let's keep it in mind. It's 2017. Like, I didn't know shit about, there was no fucking loading bar with my head popping up in the beginning. There was none of that. Like, I didn't know shit about social media. I posted about like once a year. Like, I didn't know shit about anything.
Yeah.
I learned as much as I could in 2 weeks. And I put together this business plan, and I showed it to one of my friends because they had this arcade like store or whatever. It was really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They had because they were let's just be honest. My friends were they sold weed and they were drug dealers and they had a fucking store. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna make a business and get some money from them. And so yeah, they gave me $1,000 to start the label way back in 2017. I bought some Heart of Music shirts. Yeah, so my label was started with drug money. Yeah, so I bought a couple shirts. I bought like 5 Heart of Music shirts.
Yeah.
I bought the LLC for Heart, not LLC. It was a DBA for Heart of Music. And I think I wasted them. Anyway, so I bought a couple shirts, and I got the DBA. I had everything that registered, and I totally just fucked up all the money. I fumbled the bag pretty much. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And so I want to tell that story because I don't want this to get known that, oh, Kendrick started his label off of fucking money. Like, I went broke within the first month. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So that's when it started, and just to wrap up that whole story, failed, tried again, failed, tried again, rewrote the business plan, stayed up, tried again, night after night, constant editing, constant everything. And it was just me. Like, there was no person like, yeah, Kendrick said you got it. Like, yeah, like there was none of that. Like, it was literally me up in my room at 3:00 in the morning with literally nobody. And yeah, I had a girlfriend at the time, but she wasn't fucking shit. But it was literally nothing. Like, it was literally just me.
So it was just that one night at 1 a.m. and you're walking and you see this guy smoking a cigarette and it's just like, boom, paradigm shift. Everything, your whole mind.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's fucking
because like,
holy
that's
shit.
what I needed. That's what I needed.
Dude, sometimes that's people. I think that's crazy because a lot of people think that they need to have this big revelation or they have this big failure or they're just waiting for something bad to happen to them. But like for you, it was literally just like, I don't want that. I don't want that to be me. I want something better for myself.
And someone told me, an older person said, thank God that happened. No, she said that about something else. But I thank God that happened when I was 19.
Yeah.
Because that gave me a good cushion because what fucking 19-year-old is watching marketing videos and like doing it for real. I don't mean like because this is like 2017.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think there was that many like 19-year-olds starting record labels then. Like, I was doing it for real. And entrepreneurship, like the whole internet entrepreneurship thing didn't really start getting cool till like around that time, like late 2018. Like, just from my standpoint, like it didn't really start getting that serious until then.
I agree.
So I feel like I was like one of like the last like the purebred people that could it didn't come from I didn't see a video on Instagram and some dude was like, oh, you want to make money? That's not what encouraged any of that. I wasn't encouraged by, that's how I know I'm real, because I wasn't encouraged by some fucking idiot. Yeah, maybe I seen that guy in school do his, but this was all me. I started because of me. And I did the work. I actually did the fucking work. I didn't get the idea and then start the label. I did the work while I was starting it. Like it just happened so authentically, and it's very hard to come by that nowadays.
I mean, yeah, I agree 100%.
So no support system. To answer your question, that was a very long answer, but no support system. I mean, now I have an A&R in Norfolk, Virginia. My guy Will, that's my guy. I guess he's like a fucking, like, everything's very ghetto right now, so that's what I'm saying. So he's kind of like a fucking, I don't know. I send him something and he just promotes it and he just spreads the word in Virginia, and that's kind of what he does. He don't get paid. He don't do shit. So that's one. And I partnered with Aisha and Tanisha Jackson. Those are two other partners in Baltimore, Maryland. So we're kind of getting bigger. I have a couple artists. So we're kind of a small team. Like we're a very small team. We're all individuals. We're all leaders. We're all individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no like, I'm not like, I don't boss everyone around. That's not how we roll. We're all leaders and we're all individuals.
So that's your inner
Yeah.
circle right now. Is those few people.
Yeah.
And dude, that's all you need. Like that's all you need is those few people that you know you can go to for anything. I've got my couple people same way. Like I don't need a shit ton of people like around me to tell me like, you know, like what I'm doing well or whatever. I know, because I know I have these few people that anytime I put shit out, they're gonna tell me, yo, like you can do this to make it better. Like, yo, you shouldn't have done that, or like you can do that. Like, dude, people, you don't need to have this huge following. You just need to have like a loyal few around you.
Yeah, and I owe it to Tanisha. That's like my fucking second mom. Like, and she's very older than me. She's like in like 40 something, and they like, it's crazy how this happened. And Will, he's like fucking 26. Like I like, and all these people, all three of these people, they came to me. Let's make that very known. They came to me and they say, I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of it. When I was fucking 19, 20 years old, they fucking came to me. So that's the very important aspect of that.
Just from you putting out content on social media. Wow, that's crazy.
Or genuine. I didn't go fucking reaching people. Oh, you come. It did not happen like that. Mm-hmm. It came strictly from, and I just literally put a video out like that the other day. I said, you know, if you're good enough, if people believe in your vision, you will attract everything that you need. And people don't like hearing that.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm not the same way, but like I completely agree. And it took me a while. It took my friend Miles Longstreth, who he's killing the game on social media as well.
You're really connected with a lot of college athletes. That's really cool.
So I play college football. I'm a D3, so just had my senior season canceled, which kind of blows. But yeah, man, it happens. For me, it was like, all right, like that just happened to me. How am I gonna fill that void or how am I not so much as fill that void, but how am I going to allocate my time now? Is it like, oh, like where like now I'm not playing football anymore, so I can just like drink and chill and, you know, watch movies or whatever? Or it's like, am I going to put my nose? Is it like I'm going to put my nose to the grindstone and just get shit done? Like, you know, record more podcasts, grow my social media pages, like DM more people. Just that's like along with getting my classes done this semester. Like I'm just focused on this. I'm focused on, you know, this is something I really enjoy, and it's just a hobby for me right now, but I fucking enjoy it. And you see people making money off anything nowadays. And this is not, my plan is not to make money off this. My plan is to bring value to as many people as I can and see where that takes me in life.
The funny thing,
like you said, it's a pursuit of happiness, and that's all I'm in. I'm not in it for the money. I mean, obviously I want to make money, but I'm in it. I want to be happy with what I do every day, man.
100%, man. Like, it's a funny thing that happens, you know, when you actually give a fuck about what you do. You know, people like you're not fooling anybody. Like, and the people that think that they're fooling people, they're only fooling the other idiots. Mm-hmm. You're not fooling anyone that's actually trying to win. Mm-hmm. So, like, for instance, like I'll get about like at least 13 DMs, like at least a day, of someone saying, oh, hey, I like your content, let's connect, equals, oh, let me fucking sell you this ebook. Like, that's what it means. And it's so, and people really think that doesn't matter. Like, you know, I was talking to some dude the other day, and, you know, I'm real crazy. Like, I'm not the type, I mean, it depends what mood I'm in. But, you know, when these scammers, when these fucking gurus DM me some dumb shit, like sometimes I'll just block them when I'm fucking busy or on my focus. And sometimes I'll just fucking tell them, I had an hour-long conversation with a fucking scammer the other day.
Would you tell them?
And I actually called a Forex trader the other day.
Oh, dude, they're toxic, man. They're everywhere.
I actually got on the phone with him. And I was like, who's your broker account for this? You know, for it. Like, I was like asking, like, do you know about, you know, the S&Ps, the fucking Dow Jones? Like, do you know about trading? Like, do you know about the market at all? And I was like interrogating him. He was breaking down. He know what to fucking say. And I was like, what piece of content did you like that made you DM me? And he couldn't even fucking answer that. Mm-hmm. And it came down to it. And I got down to the root. He was a foreign student. He was an immigrant. And he came to America, and his family had no money, so he started fucking Forex trading to put food basically on the table. There's always a motive. And I was like, bro, there are so many other things that you can do. And he was like, oh, well, oh, I gotta feed my family or this and that. I'm like, bro, you were doing that 100% for yourself, and you tricked yourself into thinking that you're doing something noble for your family when you're really creating a financial machine for yourself to make yourself feel good about yourself. And that's a whole different conversation. But
so he probably, I mean, there was something that happened there to him first. He definitely was like, he probably had got scammed first, and he was probably like, now like, fuck,
yeah.
now this is what I have to do to get myself out of this hole.
Like what? You come here, you come to America, and the first option to make money is Forex trading, bro. Really?
Dude.
That is how selfish that anyway.
I mean, that's just tough though. Just it's a whole different cult. I mean, like he probably
Imagine coming to America
I
to
know.
get on the foreign exchange market. That makes total fucking sense. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I people fall into that trap. When I started my Instagram page, I had like a couple followers, and I got Forex people DMing me and commenting on my stuff like, "Hey, love your page. Let me tell you more about Forex." What, dude? What? No, I have like 2 pieces of content. Like
they're
10.
relentless. I'll give them this. They're fucking relentless. They're relentless as salespeople.
Yeah,
Tell you
man.
that.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we don't have to waste our time on Forex anymore. But
And just to expose everyone listening to this, they all work for one company. It's called iMarkets Live, and they're fucking scammers.
block
They're
them.
all under one conglomerate, iMarkets Live, and they're all a bunch of scammers.
Block them.
I did my research.
Yeah. So how have you been able to? I mean, you got a pretty decent Instagram following right now, and also Twitter following. And that's a credit to you for putting in the hard work every single day. One of the first things that popped up on my feed is Kendrick's, and I'm like, my man, let's go. And it's always something relatable, man. It's always something relatable, and I think it motivates me because I'm like, damn, I got to get my shit.
That's
going.
very intentional. Just to put that out there. That I want you to see my face first thing in the morning. That's very intentional.
Right. Right. No, I mean, and like everything you say is authentic.
Because rather if I say something that pisses you off, or I say something that resonates with you, I'm your first fucking thought. The first goddamn thing you see, and that's very important for brand awareness. But we'll go on. Thank you.
And then people are gonna be like, well, like for me, I'm like, yo, that was good. Like, or like, maybe I didn't agree with that, but I know he's gonna follow up with something. Like, because we're all in the same boat. We're content creators right now. Like, we're all going through the same shit. We all go through the same struggles, and we all like find these things that like interest us and like are easier for us. But we're always just like looking for more. And like for me, when I consume your content and other people's content, I'm like looking to learn from that. And there's a lot of people that are gonna see your content, see my content, see everybody else's content, and they're gonna envy that. And then they're going to start trying to break you down. And, that's when you just have to stay true to yourself and be like, I'm grateful for you, like coming at me, because that makes me now I know that what I'm doing is working, or like what I'm doing is right, and maybe it'll motivate them to do something and not sit behind their computer screen and just fucking try to break you down.
A lot of people, like, they don't understand that whenever something gets oversaturated, whenever a market gets oversaturated, let's take the fucking NCAA, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there is an issue with getting athletes. I don't think that's an issue.
No.
We have enough athletes. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to how you stand out, how you play, how you differentiate yourself, the fucking talent and the hard work that you put in. That is the missing element. So when people think that, when they post something, they think that, like, they seriously think that, they're the only person in the world. Like, there is, the idea here is to make yourself stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've changed my brand beaucoup times. And one of the things I've really got into, like, starting last year, is that I gotta be fucking different. Like, there's a million people on Instagram telling you do this, you can do this. There's a million people saying, yeah, you can do anything. There's a million fucking people saying, yeah, I made this, doing this. Everyone has something to say. So if everyone has something to say, then really all it comes down to is how you say it. that's going to be the missing thing, how it's done. And one thing I realized is that, so all these music people, all these execs are just trying to get artists to pay them money to promote them, but those artists really don't have a shot. So they're just taking their money. So they're taking money from talentless people and to put them in their fucking funnel and to give them more information, which is really taking them away from actually building a fan base for themselves and going out. So I'm seeing everyone do that. So I'm like, okay, screw that. I'm going to do the complete opposite, and I'm going to make videos about how to get your family to support you. I'm going to make videos about you don't need me. I'm going to have a label. I'm going to own a label, and I'm going to make videos about how you don't fucking need us. And that's my differentiation.
Dude, I think what you said about, like I have to be different. The first thing that popped in my head was you're different just by being yourself.
Exactly.
Everybody on social media, they want to paint this picture and they're only highlighting the best parts of their life. And they're only highlighting, they're at the beach or they're driving a nice car, or they're doing this, or they're on this vacation, or they're doing that. Fucking post everything. Post your successes, post your failures, and just be yourself. That's what I'm working on doing myself every day. I write down all right, this shit was great today, or I fucked this up. How can I do that? And what I want to do is start posting more about failures, because that's what people relate to. People relate to, like, you fail. Exactly. We're all human, we all fail. And so that's what I appreciate about you, man. You're very honest about, what you do and your successes, failures, this and that.
Yeah. And, I like, and the thing about, posting failure is that, I think about failure, oddly, because I think failure actually is success. I've said that a lot, and success is just a byproduct of failure. So when you really say posting failures, I don't look at it as like a negative. I look at it as a very, you and I look at it as a good thing. And I think the people that are insecure about posting their failures, it's all about how they're looking at it. So they only feel comfortable. And there's micro failures, there's big failures, there's little failures, there's hidden failures, and there's all this insecurity. So if they're going out somewhere, this is just being hypothetical here. If they're going out to a restaurant, they won't show you what they're eating unless it's a fucking steak from Ruth's Chris. If they're going to a hotel, if they're going out of town, they won't show the hotel unless it's a 5-star resort and there's a fucking fancy jacuzzi and there's fucking palm trees in the back. If they made a amount of money today, if they made a certain amount of money today, they won't show it unless it's one of their top. They won't show it unless it's how much their friends are making. If they're fucking buying a new pair of shoes or a new fucking purse, they're not gonna show it or not gonna do it unless someone else is doing it. Right. And all that is just, when you get to the root of it, why people don't do that is because they're insecure, and they think that being 100% transparent is their vulnerability, when it's complete opposite of a vulnerability is your ultimate strength, being 100% transparent. Because let's say I never told anyone I was a piece of shit. Let's say I never told anyone that I started on a label from fucking drug money. Let's say I get big and I get the eyeballs, and then some fucking dude pulls up some shit and says, Kendrick was never like that. He was a fucking dick. And then that is the downfall of my career. Because I wasn't 100% transparent from it up front. That's the number one reason, because no one can fucking tell me that I'm full of shit. Because I've said it on this, I said it on here, I've said it on everywhere, that I was a piece of shit. I was not always like that. I did have micro failures. I was friends with fucking gang members and shit. Like, I've already put it out. It's like fucking 8 Mile. When Eminem said, what did he say? Like, Eminem said like some shit. That's another movie I've seen. That's
one of the 10.
He said like, he just put it all out there.
Yeah, he was like, this is me. If you don't like it, fuck you.
He was like, yeah, my best friend did shoot himself in the leg. Like, he put it all out there. Yeah. And the other guy, he couldn't say shit. He couldn't say shit.
That's crazy. And I agree with that, and I can relate to that just because I've been in that spot. I've been insecure about, like, I shouldn't post this, or like, maybe, will this get enough likes, or, and this is a couple years ago, man. Like, I've made a lot of strides since then.
I remember those days.
Strides, man. But yeah, like, a lot of people are in that insecure space, and I just think, doing shit like this, people, you and me can relate. We're basically the same age. You know, we're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to make it out here. And, you know, we're just trying to help everyone we can. I know you got a role. So anything, like one thing you want to leave, main piece of advice you want to leave?
You know, the main advice that I want to leave is that I really want to give my opinion on what you just said.
Yeah,
You
go
know,
ahead.
the whole likes and insecurity thing. I think that's a really good note to end on.
Mhm.
It's fucking insane. You know, and there's always someone that this is why this whole conundrum of people bullshitting on the internet. This is why this is so bad. It's because when you bullshit and when you're not 100% yourself, all you're doing is you're putting your insecurities on more and more people.
Mhm.
And those people are not knowing you. They're knowing everything that you're insecure about, and they're putting that on themselves. They're putting this on themselves. They're saying, "Damn, I don't have a 2020 BMW, so I'm just not going to show my car at all." That is how they're thinking.
Yep.
And that is going to completely determine all of their actions. That's going to completely determine how they talk to one another. Like, there's certain people that have, like, I almost got 10K followers. I don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
There's some people that have 10K followers, and they change the way that they interact with people in public because of the amount of followers and engagement they have on social media. And that is completely fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It's because they follow people like fucking Ty Lopez and people like Rafael Vegas and all these fucking idiots, and they follow people like that, and they pick up their mannerisms, they pick up their they take on the insecurities.
Yep.
It's all insecurity, man. So if you see somebody, like, for instance, you know, if you see a celebrity go live with someone, and if you look at the bigger person, and they're like, "Yeah, you going live with me? Yeah, I'm here." Like, if you see that, and if you see that, that's how you're gonna want to react when you get to that level. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, when you see people acting that insecure, you're gonna want to emulate that.
100%.
That's why it's important that people like you, people like me, if we can become cool, when we get on live with people, we're just gonna say, "Hey, what's up?" We're not gonna act like we're fucking Moses. We're not gonna act like we're fucking Barack Obama. Like, we're just gonna act like we're normal people. When we do have social media, you're gonna look on my page, you're gonna see me complaining about my fucking tooth that's killing me. You're gonna see me talk about losing a client. You're gonna hear me talking about family. You're gonna hear me talking about the ups and the downs. You're gonna hear me talking about, you know, having to kick an artist off because he's a piece of shit. You're gonna hear me talking about everything. And that's what you're gonna want to emulate. That's who you're gonna want to aspire to be. Someone that's completely open and transparent. And if we can have the ratio of real over fake, we will totally change the game 100%.
Love it, brother. Appreciate having you on tonight. Appreciate you coming on. This was fun. Dude. Got to do this again soon. But yeah, bro, we could talk all night about this shit. But yeah,
I can talk about this for days, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, you stayed up for 2 weeks straight. I know you could do this shit for 2 weeks straight.
To be honest, that's fucking nothing. Like,
I know.
When you're starting something, that's like the cost of entry if you want to start something. You say it for 2 weeks and you do it. Like,
yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Of course, man. Of course. Keep doing your shit. Keep doing you. Keep being authentic. And great things coming to you, man.
You too, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. I'll talk to you.
Have a good night.
You too.